Hello, hello. This is Paper Cuts Included coming to you live from the Ninja Turtle sleeping blanket, and that's how we keep it legit. After our most successful ever video on the channel, which was made by my co-host over how to draw Ninja Turtles the Mirage way, we're going to continue that Ninja Turtle hype train with Mutants Down Under. Before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, this is a comic book YouTube channel ran by me and my co-host. Both of us are working artists, and we want to talk about comic books. We're inspired by the great Cartoonist Kayfabe channel, and what does that mean? Well, like them, we put books like this under the microscope, talk about the art, talk about the artist, the history of the art, history of the artist, impact of the book, so on and so forth. So if that's something you'd be interested in, stick around. I post every Wednesday and Friday, and my co-host will surprise you with random videos every once in a while. So I first off would like to give kudos to him. He made a phenomenal video. It's the best ever performing video on the channel, and I bet it's going to get 200 views by the end of tonight. So I'd like to applaud him. He's a phenomenal artist, a phenomenal best friend, and did a great video. Um, so kudos if he watches this. Also, before we get into this, we had our very first fan art, fan contribution to the channel. An artist by the name of Scum Bunny made this amazing Swamp Thing piece. I did a video on tracing paper. He's doing a print right now. We learned we can do prints with tracing paper because this is the Tuttle Bin Swamp Thing cover, which I forget the exact issue number. It's one of the best Swamp Thing books you can ever see and read. Phenomenal art, phenomenal story. Definitely check it out. And it's very, very nice to have uh, fan art on the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This I'm gonna make a post about it. Um, and if your other fans, you want to contribute, draw something we did, or draw something from a book you like, just DM me. Maybe if we get enough, I'll open a PO box. This was a local artist, so it was pretty easy to get it. But no, if we get a lot of people, DM me or just send it to me digitally, and I'll figure out how to put that kind of stuff at the beginning or end of video, however we figure out how to do it. But let's get into the book. So this is Mutants Down Under. This is not a comic book, but it is a RPG book with art. The cover is a Kevin Eastman, and the interior art is done by Lawson. Lawson, if you don't know, Jim Lawson was a early Mirage artist. Worked with Kevin and Eastman, or not Kevin East, Peter and Kevin, bleh, and was a really important part of the Mirage team. I like him a lot. I like his art a lot, actually. He's one of my favorite Ninja Turtle artists. I believe he did the Return to New York stuff. I think so, off the top of my head. And I love the turtle designs in that book, so I contribute to Lawson. So this video is more importantly going to be about character creations, because a lot of character art is in this book. It is an RPG book, so it's not a story. You know, making sure the new camera is working. But let's talk about the cover first. The cover and back cover is a Kevin Eastman book. I would usually unfold it, but this is a really, really old book with water damage and all sorts of stuff, and I worry the spine might not survive me, folding it. So let's just look at the beautiful Kevin Eastman cover. And Kevin Eastman does such great covers. That probably might be one of my favorite aspects of him, is just his cover. He knows how to make a good cover. He knows how to make an interesting cover. You can't tell me you're not going to see this and flip through it. You got koalas jumping with giant guns, or kangaroos. I said koalas. A koala right there with a big gun. I'm sure, I don't know, maybe a dingo. All sorts of animals, blimps. I guess we'll flip to the back. And, just a great little war scene. It's very interesting. I challenge someone not to look through it once they see this great cover. I bought it. So I bought this book years ago, probably 3-4 years ago, just because it was a Kevin Eastman cover, and it's one of the only affordable RPG books that they have. There's a lot of the RPG books, but they're usually pricey. I think the Ninja Turtle one itself, the original one's like an $80. Maybe it's a little less now because they just kickstarted a reprint of it. which I definitely need to pick up because I'd love to, own those pieces of art. Let's get into it. Look at this great first page Jim Lawson art, right? And when designing characters, he didn't have a lot of time. He's not making a comic book. He can't flesh out the story. So he needs to, like we talked about in a Frank Frazetta video, you need to sell it really quick. And what do I mean by sell it is they're not stagnant. They're very interesting, amazing character designs. Making sure that they're cool, and an audience who finds it cool is going to keep going. What a great first page to turn into. You know, and he's showing them in motion. Some artists will just do straight up and down character profiles. That's boring. People are going to get tired of your book. They're going to put it down and not even play the game. Whereas we have motion. If a lot of people are like, "Ooh, I want to play as that character now." Again, Uzi jumping around, punk kangaroos, and you do a print of that, a punk kangaroo print. That'd be cool. So that's just part of it. When you're designing characters, don't just draw a guy standing up or a monster standing up because it's going to look boring. People are going to get tired of it. Have a little scene. Think of a story in your head. What are they doing? Are these guys going off to war? Are these guys scouts? Are these guys, just hopping around looking for someone to mug? Think of stuff like that and put that in your artwork, and I guarantee you it's going to do better than if you just did a boring, profile shot. I love this map. Just this Australia, a banana land. We need to play. Maybe if we get 100 subscribers, we're definitely. I think we're almost at 1,500 views. 100 subscribers, we'll play around with this because that'd be fun. But no, here yet we see, this is what would kind of be the profile I was talking about. But yet again, this is, he didn't have a lot of room to explore with that. But yet it's a really good character design. He put clothes on, but he thought of putting these little, like he's wearing pants. Very interesting hat. Don't he took a bird, put clothes on it, but yet made it look good. An emu. These are going to be the different types of animals you can become because you play animals in this game. But no, it's just great. The shading, that mirage shading, phenomenal. And I'm sure my buddy, my co-host, talked about that in his. I hope that's not mold. That would suck. How to draw comics the mirage way. Let's see, we got a little otter, maybe right there. That looks like an otter. Pretty cool otter. Let's see, nothing there. Look at these giant ants, jackaroos, cowboy. Some animals just drawing giant insects. Great. And see, like I said, these are a profile, but you can kind of think of a story. These are companions. They're probably fellow soldiers. You know, making a story where there's not a story because there's not a story here. But in our minds we think about that because that's because he did such a good job drawing them. They're smiling at each other, and that's part of it. When you're designing characters, those small things like them smiling at each other, body language, it does build up on how to be a good character designer. It's the little things that make the big things. So let's keep going. What a great reptile head. I think this is probably one of those frilled lizards. It looks really good. Man, if you want a mirage tattoo, this might be the book to get it from. Look at that otter. Or is that an otter? That might be a cuscus. I don't know what a cuscus is. And that is a dingo. That's a really cool dingo. Parts of it is the body language, right? He's not just showing him standing straight up and down, this Koskis is he's pointing gun at someone. He's shifting that body weight. It adds to the character depth. It adds to us as the audience being interested in him. And even this, he might look straight up and down, but he's using contrapposto. He's turned a little bit. A little bit of his weight's more on one side than the other, and he's got the Rambo. He's got the Rambo look. That's another thing. You can add qualities of other characters into your characters to make it look really good, and that's what he's doing right here. The big knife like Rambo, the I don't know if Rambo wore a wife beater, and then the bandana like Rambo. It really adds to the character. Now I'm thinking like, ooh, if I play as that character, maybe I can go out Rambo. take down 100 cops or something. And then this guy, that guy's awesome. What is he? Is he a traditional outbackman? And just like I said, all these a good character designer makes people think of the story. You know, and that's what Lawson's doing right here. God. And also adding things like having a kangaroo with a gun, a Joey, and the kangaroo's pouch. That that's incredible art right there, right? This might be one of my favorite pieces of Mirage art of all time. That is my if I ever do get a Mirage tattoo, this is I mark my words, this will be it. Granted, I don't know how that'd look because I only do black and white tattoos because I think color fades too quick. But yet, it's it's great. Like they need to do NECA. You need to do figures on these. Do the RPG books because there you go. There's your awesome Mirage style figure right there. And a great there's that reptile head we looked at earlier. Um, just really good art. Really good art. It was a frilled lizard. I was right. I know a little thing about reptiles. I got a tortoise and a cat. A koala and a Komodo dragon. That's a really dope Komodo dragon. And he's adding things like armor, different military clothing. It makes you think like these two guys obviously aren't on the same team. This guy's a lot more Mad Max looking, where this guy looks like it's just a humanoid koala in a standard military outfit, right? So it does, why is this one more Mad Max than this? What's the story behind that? It part of that is you can flip to a page, be really invested in the artwork, and then buy the book. If you're really into it, and that's what one of Jim Lawson's jobs is to sell it. He's selling the artwork, he's selling the book. The more books he sells, the more royalties I bet he's getting. So making sure that his characters are super cool. Don't make a bland character because you might have an audience who flips through your book once, they see a really crappy character design, they're going to put your book down and never talk about it, never look at it, never want to play it. Whereas, I see something like this, I want to know what's up with that. I'm probably going to buy it. I buy books all the time that I just buy because I flip to a random page and it's got some sort of cool art in it. Look at that platypus. You can't tell me you're not going to flip through this book, see this guy, and just not be, curious. It's just giant head, stocky body with a mace. He's playing with proportions, he's playing with character designs. This is probably something he did in a sketchbook. And that's something I think I wish more people would know is sketchbooks can turn into really good things. A sketchbook is not just something you have to turn in at the end of the semester. It can be very. Oh, is my cat gonna jump off of there? Nope. Okay, good cat. You know, and your downtime, do a sketch a day. Do a warm up sketch. And I swear to God, when I do warm up sketches, they turn out a lot better than the what I'm about to work on, and a lot more interesting. A lot of the times, and this can be part of it. This could have been one of his warm up sketches before working on Turtles, and bam, there's a great piece of art to turn in for this art project. So just keep your sketches. Remember what sketches you really liked. And then you can refine them, turn them into more finished pieces. I know some artists discredit sketches. I had art professors in art school who, if they even thought you were going to turn in a sketch as a critique item, oh, you were going to get a tongue lashing. I never did, but people. As a printmaker, I can make 100 prints in 2 weeks, whereas some people in my art class could make maybe 3 pieces, if that, usually 1 or 2. So they would have to put in sketches, and that professor would, oh my God, he would rip into them like there was no tomorrow. And he just discredited sketches. He said I shouldn't see sketches in the gallery. I like seeing sketches. I like seeing the creative process. I keep all my sketches. I know some artists throw their sketches away. That's crazy to me. But no, keep your sketches, refine them. I'm not saying this was a sketch, but it could have been. So I keep all my sketchbooks, organize them by year, sometimes organize them by theme. Some sketches I only try to do stuff for a zine I'm working on, or some sketches are only warm up sketches. So, you know, it can pay off. Like another rat kangaroo. I wonder if that's a mutation. That's pretty cool. To that big old, what do you call those? Boomerang. Big old boomerang. Really cool. Gosh. And I wonder how big these were. Were these, smaller sketches, or were these like, 18 by 20 pieces of paper? And I wonder if they're for sale, because I'm sure Jim Lawson art is probably pretty affordable, I would have to say. If anyone knows down below, let me know in the comments, because that'd be something I'd be interested in buying in for myself and the channel. Which, if you want to support the channel, you can go to our Instagrams, go to our TeePublic pages. Anything you do there goes back into the channel. If you buy a T-shirt, the money from the T-shirt goes into buying a new book for a pickup video and whatnot. But yeah, this is a lot of detail for that small size, and maybe he did do it that size, but I think it was probably a lot bigger. Really cool though. What is that? Tree kangaroo. That's called a thorny devil. That's really cool. But no, tree kangaroo. Oh, no, what is that? A wallaroo. Or no, maybe that's just tree kangaroo. I think that has to be a tree kangaroo. Well, it's in a freaking tree, of course. It's a tree kangaroo. But no. So, you know, what's my cat doing? I bet you guys can hear that. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is about him. Um, yeah, I'm real curious what he's doing. I'm going to be right back. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what my cat's doing. Sorry about that. Look, it's even a smaller version. What's this? That is a wombat, farmer wombat. Pretty cool. And look, there's our first humans. Lawson has a very interesting way of drawing humans. They all have the same face to me. Or I wonder. Yeah, it's Lawson. At first, I wondered if that was some Eastman stuff, but no, that's Lawson. Look, there's a good comparison between the two, and that's another way to sell the book. How does your, original creature stack up to a human? That's something that if you're going to have a book where they intermingle, think about, are they going to be larger than life? Are they going to be smaller than life? It's a good way to do it. Oh my god, what's that thing? A spiny anteater. Whoa. I haven't looked at this book probably in a year, so a lot of this stuff is coming back. I hope YouTube doesn't get mad for all those guns. But no, what a great character design. Having the anteater and probably another one right there. Get creative when you're doing characters, because this could have just been some kitchen appliance that he saw, and made it futuristic or maybe apocalyptic, whatever way that turns out. That's really cool though. So you take inspiration from anything you see, sketch it down in your sketchbook. You know, what I've seen people do is they'll bring a sketchbook and go to a flea market and sketch some of the cool stuff they see at flea markets. And then you have a catalog of really interesting items. That you can fill a space with, make things seem more like lifelike, more organic. Because I'm sorry, a flaw I see in a lot of artists for comic books is they'll draw a room and then they don't know how to fill it. It'll just be an empty room with maybe a poster on the wall. Figure out what your character likes. Casey Jones is going to have pizza boxes and sports posters, sports books, baseball cards in his room, and it's going to be messy. Casey Jones isn't going to have a clean room, so figure out what your character likes. These guys, they're spies, or I see them as spies. So they're probably going to be real official, real. Oh, they even did a little ant right there. That's really cool. But no, just it makes your characters more grounded and more believable, because that's part of art, is making the audience understand and believe what you're trying to sell. Why is there mutants? What's their life now? Because they have, it's some sort of RPG. Like this could have been a kitchen bowl, that he just turned into I guess a blimp or hot air. You know what I mean? So just take inspiration in everything you see. Nothing is what it is. You can make it into everything. That would be a good challenge for the artist who submitted that amazing trace or original piece. Do that as your next art assignment from this channel. Turn some sort of random bowl or kitchen thing into this futuristic or medieval, whatever you want to do. Just turn it into something cool. And I'd love to see what you come up with. Nothing there. Nothing there. Man, are we about to? Oh no, there's a solid piece. This is almost very Ninja Turtle reminiscent. Is that Splinter? No, but it's cool to see him do a gesture, splitting the body parts and segments. That's how we learn to do the figure in art school. Is separate the forearm, the muscles, the legs, the head, separate them all, and then build on it. So it is pretty cool to perhaps see an early art student Lawson do it this way. And it'll be a really good example when I show that. Talk about that to others. I'll have to remember that this is in there. It's got the same like turtle expressions. This had to be the Splinter like callback from Turtles. You know. Oh wow! Look at that plant, killer plant. Killer's right. Look at that thing. Feed me, Maurice, or whatever that thing is. I've never seen it. Fake fan. But no, and it's again, there's movement. It's not stagnant. You can feel that. Almost the weight, the sounds, the smell of it coming for these poor wombats, and that's part of just building that really good character. Having it really just the audience can close their eyes and hear and smell and know what's about to happen. And you open it and you're surprised they haven't moved. It gets the creative wheels turning. It gets people wanting to play this game. And I think that's Jim Lawson succeeded in that. He did art that really sells this book and really promotes this game, in my opinion. Another this. See, I wonder how big these pieces were because this had to be huge, or maybe it was this size. Of an Aboriginal person, perhaps giving medicinal medicine to, the insert character wannabe. Is that me as a 12-year-old playing this game? Could be. That'd be an easy way to sell this book. Oh, they even have how to talk Aussie like a native. Wow. I'm gonna have to remember that. Huh. But no, I think that's the last piece of art. Yep. Well, there was the Mutants Down Under. What are some good takeaways from this book? Beside it being affordable on the RPG books. Well, it's really fascinating to see the character design. I think it's a really good character design book. We learn that don't just make your figure stagnant. Have them doing something, moving around, twisting their body, putting weight on something, because it builds that. It makes it more believable what these are living characters in this book. And like I said, it would make me want to play this game seeing that. It's not, if they were just stagnant, it's boring. And to me, I think it would be a boring game. But no, seeing them twist, move around, it really makes me want to play the game now. Even me, 40, 50 years after this book was made, still makes me want to play the game. And so he did good. He probably, he succeeded where his job was. Make good art that promotes the game. And I'm gonna try to do some research and see where these pieces went. Are they out in circulation? Is there a book on it? Just a book of blown up imagery of it, because I'd love to see that. I'd love to show it off on the channel. But no, that pretty much is the end of this video. If you stuck around to the end, thank you. We have been doing so good lately. Like, I can't thank you guys enough how good we've been doing. We're about to have probably a 200 view video, which I never thought would happen for years into doing this channel. And again, I'd like to thank my co-host for making that video and really pushing that algorithm probably. So hopefully this also gets pushed in the algorithm pretty hard. No, if there's a way I can do this better, let me know in the comments. You know, I love the comments. I at least heart every comment I get. I should probably respond, but I heart every comment we get. I'd like to thank Scum Bunny again for this amazing Swamp Thing print. I probably should have asked them if I could talk about that on the channel first. I'm sure it's fine. I'll ask him if I can put his Insta in the post though, because he's a great artist, a great local artist. Um, but no, uh, definitely check out our other Ninja Turtle video. Like I said, it's probably gonna be 200 by the end of the night. Thanks for everyone who's recently subscribed, recently checked out a video. We couldn't do it without you. Let's get to 60 subscribers. We're at 55, I think, right now. Let's get to 60 before February. I don't even know the date, but February is about to happen. But I think we can do it. How good we've been doing. Let's try to get it. But no, from paper cuts included to you, make more art.